Hello, friends. This is myself, Rajeev Sinha, and uh, basically, I am here just for a review for a new book which got published, I think, almost 3 months back. I think this year, start of this year, on 1st of Jan. And this book right now is this is an ebook, and it's readily available on Amazon and Google. You will find this book actually, and the name of this book is the DevOps Achieve. That is the CI CD by Jenkins in 15 minutes. So you will find that book actually, obviously on the Google and Amazon, obviously Kindle. You will find that. And this book is not very, I will say, it's a very huge book or something like that, but it's a very brief, and it's a really informing also. So I gone through this book, and here what the author of this book actually, Nilesh, wanted to share with everybody, basically whoever belongs from the software industry, basically, and who are in the development deployment, means they follow the uh, SDLC process, or nothing but nowadays. Basically, we everybody in the almost every company is using that agile process, right? Where we definitely need that the continuous deployment, continuous development kind of things, basically, right? The agile methodology, which gives you the ease to how you frequently implement the changes and the frequently you deploy the things basically on your production environment, because now the business is too much is very fast going. So that's why being a software industry also, it's following the same path, and obviously we need to follow that. uh, so in this books, basically what it is talking about, that is the CI, that is the continuous integration, and the CD, that is the continuous deployment. So here the tool, basically the is talking about the Jenkins, which comes in the picture. So Jenkins is nothing but it's a tool which helps basically the developers or the deployment team to do that continuous integration as well as a continuous deployment. So which comes under the DevOps process. So DevOps is nothing but development and operations. When I'm talking about the dev and ops, so it's basically the development team that does, and the operational team basically that deploys the thing, basically where the development doesn't come in the picture, but obviously the deployment team takes care of those things. So here, what happens when the development team develops anything? So they do the code, they do their code checking in the branches, right, in the repository. So it's regardless what repository you are using. So either it's a SVN or it's a TFS or whatever it is. So now the team's maintaining the multiple different branches. So one is for very dedicated to the developer. Basically, that is the development branch. And then, so once you would deploy the things basically for the testing, it goes in the testing branch, and then accordingly, so it's also depend on the company to company, basically how they are managing those branches. Basically, this goes in testing, the deployment goes on the testing environment. Tester tests though, if there is a bug there, and it again comes in with the towards the developer. They fix those changes and they again redeploy the code. So once everything is done, so basically once it's a signed up by the tester, and it everything is finalized, that okay, now it's ready to release, then it's all the codes move to the production branch, basically. And from there, this Jenkins tool comes in the picture. The company has to set up through this, basically. The Jenkins tool pulls the code out of that production branch, and it's keep deploying in the production environment for the end user. So this whole book basically is talking about that whole process where uh, the continuous integration, basically, you are the vast business input you are taking and implementing in the your software. Okay, and that integration, obviously you need to deploy that. that in the fast manner, right? So that's why basically the continuous deployment, and that's why we are here avoiding to do all those manual things, basically what we used to do earlier in the software life cycle in the previous side. Now, as we are in totally in the agile process, we every almost every company, as I mentioned earlier, also that agile process they are following, right? So here definitely we need to go through this some automated deployment where the manual intervention should not be there. And this book is almost talking about the same thing. I really appreciate that. Basically, it's a very brief book, but he explained in a very good manner uh, about basically what is actually the CIN, how CD works, and how the Jenkins tool is basically leveraging all these things to deploy the code, the final production environment. So I really appreciate, and I will say basically we could have done basically about the Jenkins little bit in more detail, but yes, as this book is very brief, so I think it should be fine. And I will definitely am recommending this book. And uh, that's it from my side. In case of any questions, uh, you can always connect with me. Thank you.